Interesting facts about famous people.
Elvis Presley Western Movies. Thank you very much. Okay, now I know the traditionalists here will have trouble with this video, but let's not look at this video in the traditional sense. Rather, let's step outside our comfort zone a moment. Let's call them an anomaly, just for fun. Elvis was known for his music, gyrating hips, and stage performances. However, Presley also acted in his share of movies. Most of Elvis's movies were musicals, but he also tried several westerns throughout his career. Presley's westerns usually incorporated his music or comedy, but occasionally he played against type as hardened characters you may expect of Wayne or Eastwood. Here are the westerns that Presley starred in during his career. If you like this video, you can see all my other videos on my channel. The link is in the description. Now let's get into it.
I like it.
Presley played a rodeo rider in Stay Away Joe, 1968. Stay Away Joe probably wouldn't get made today. It came near to the end of Presley's acting career before the singer began his decline. A musical, like most of Presley's films, utilizing both the actor's screen presence and vocal talents. It's not a straight western, because it was set in the modern times of the 60s. The film explores Navajo rodeo rider Joe Lightcloud, played by Presley. On release, many criticized the film for being offensive to the Native American tribe by stereotyping them. The film also had its strengths as well, taking a Blazing Saddles slapstick approach to comedy. The film wasn't Presley's best work. Elvis Presley played a bronco buster in Tickle Me, 1965. The king on horseback and riding a bull. Not something that most Elvis fans would imagine him to do. So Presley tried his hand at being a rodeo champion in this film. Just like Stay Away Joe, the film wasn't a western in the usual sense. It does feature several western themes and a funny sequence lampooning the genre. Presley clearly uses a stunt double for those riding sequences, but you could easily imagine Presley the star attraction at a rodeo. Presley successfully translates some of his star power and charisma on screen, playing Lonnie Beale. But during the fantasy sequence, Presley shows off his comedy prowess as the Panhandle Kid, a parody of John Wayne, Clint Eastwood, and other gunslingers. The Panhandle Kid loves his milk, so much so, he asks for a whole bottle at the local saloon. Ridiculous? Yes, but it's fun. Elvis played a rancher in Love Me Tender, 1956, based on one of his hit songs. Presley made the sidestep from music to film in this musical western. The King made his 1956 debut as a western rancher, overcome by jealousy. Elvis plays Clint Reno, believing his brother Vance died fighting for the Confederacy in the Civil War. Hearing of his brother's death, Clint marries his brother's woman. Matters soon become complicated when Vance wasn't as dead as everyone thought. The brothers find themselves at odds over their love for the same woman. Presley shows his serious side in this film, proving he is more than just his voice. The ending rendition of Love Me Tender is haunting, even more now than after all these years after his demise.
Everything's gonna be all right.
Presley gets into a conflict in Flaming Star, 1960. Some consider Flaming Star to be one of Presley's best works. Presley intended for the film to show him as an actor, not just a musician playing one. Presley only performed 2 songs during the film. One was during the opening credits. The studio failed to launch an effective marketing campaign to promote Presley's goal. The film ended up being somewhat of a box office failure. It's hard not to look at the film and think of the what-ifs. Presley played a commanding performance as Pacer Burton, a Texas rancher. When neighbors were killed by Indians, the Burton homestead had to choose sides between the natives and their fellow Texans, a role some seasoned actors might struggle with. Presley nailed the role, proving to be one of his most respected pieces of acting work. Presley played a gunslinger in Charro, 1969, ending up as one of his last film roles. Elvis channeled Clint Eastwood for this spaghetti western. This was the king like fans rarely saw him before or since. Gone was his clean-shaven, squeaky clean appearance. In Charro, Presley is unshaven and grimaced, perhaps for the only time. Presley shows menace in his performance. You believe that his character as Jesse Wade is someone you wouldn't want to mess with. Slow-paced in parts, following Wade, who has only two things on his mind: winning back his love and revenge for getting set up. The bullets start flying. You almost forget that you're watching Elvis. He becomes a cowboy. Charro is the most Western of Presley's films. I hope you enjoyed the video. I like to bring you things sometimes that you wouldn't expect. Let me know what you think in the comments. I appreciate likes, shares and subscribers. They help me a lot. Also hit the notification button to get my new videos. Bye for now.